Hi Marco.
Hi.
Start off with team news. Is it a clean bill of health for this weekend?
Can you repeat, sorry?
Start off with team news. Is it full house for this weekend?
Until now, yes. As you know, we have another session with a Sunday match, and after that, of course, you can take the decisions. But until now, looks is going to be the same than the last few weeks. Everybody's going to be available.
Perfect. A top half finish is well within reach for you now, coming into the final throes of the season. Is that an achievement to aim for you and your players now?
Yes. We cannot hide that situation. Of course, we want to finish as high as you can, of course, and we want to keep climbing on the table is our aim right now. Of course, when you are in this position, is always looking for the next one that is above us and trying to go and step by step to go as high as you can. And of course, right now is what we are looking for.
Andreas Pereira came out after the game last weekend and said you'd wanted him to play a little bit further forward, and he rewarded you with 2 goals. Was that the player that you knew you had at your disposal, and was that the performance you wanted from him that you've been looking for?
Andreas, of course, last season he made a huge impact in our squad, in our team, in our football club as well. As you know, and of course, if you follow, for sure he did it. And if you analyze him, before he joined ourselves, was playing much more as a second midfielder, never like so offensive like he's playing since he joined our football club. And he can be there, okay, the second midfielder, much more there. And of course, when you start to play at a bit different lines and much more offensive, of course, and it's time to work, needs myself to demand from him to arrive in certain areas that are important for a player, because at the end what we want from him is in that position you have to be more decisive, you have to have more impact in the games. Normally he's having, of course, probably last season he was, this season is going to be probably one of the best assists from our team, if not the best. But we want more from him, we demand more from him to arrive in certain areas that we have been arriving. Of course, the last game was clear, the plan, he understood well, and of course this type of things clear for me, not the second but the first goal that he scored. He just scored the goal because he showed the desire and the will to arrive in that area, to believe that the ball can go for him in that area, and it's something that we've been demanding from him. Of course, if the things happen in the game, have even bigger impact on themselves, and of course nice to see him to score, nice to see him to arrive in important areas that we are demanding from him. And again, he has to keep doing the same things, and we have to keep working with him because he has all the potential to do it.
Now, Jurgen Klopp said after last night Liverpool are going to be throwing everything at the Premier League. Obviously, it's always incredibly difficult to face them, but is there a bit of you that would have liked to see them have that tiny little distraction of still having the Europa League?
Now, what I know, and I'm sure that they are going to react. We all know Liverpool. We all know that they come from a really tough result in Premier League. Of course, to be out of the Europa League was really tough for them as well. And we are talking in 10 days they lost a chance to be in the semi-finals and probably to fight to be in the final. And they lost 3 points that they were really important for them, for sure. And at Anfield, that is not something that happens often. And of course, we are going to face a reaction, 100% sure. Is a game probably that is going to demand more from ourselves than if they have won the last 2 games. This is my feeling clear, is the way we have been preparing ourselves. Of course, we don't prepare ourselves depending what is going to be the reaction. We prepare ourselves that what we want to do in the game and what we expect from them, okay, to explore some things that they are not so strong, and of course to be aware of the threat that they are always. And if you ask me if I expect probably more difficult game than if the game was 3 weeks ago, yes. If they are going to be with the same confidence, we don't know. Of course, it's something that we don't know. It's not important to talk about it, but I think that we are going to face a team that is going to have a reaction for sure.
And just finally, I'm sure you'll have seen the news, FA Cup replays being scrapped from next season. You've managed in both the EFL and the Premier League. It's been quite a controversial move in some quarters. How do you see it?
I can see in 2 different ways. Firstly, because it's always really important, in the culture of the country and the culture of the competition. That is the thing, and because that probably is the most important and that the fans they like more that competition. Really, they enjoy really the competition, and of course, because you can have all the clubs around, you can have surprises every single round and all that stuff. And of course, understanding the culture of the competition and how the fans they look for the competition, how some clubs they can look as well to have the chance to have 2 games, for example, against the Premier League side and all that stuff. Of course, I can understand how some people are not happy with the situation. If you go in the other direction, that looking for, and it's not the Fulham case until now, but if you look for the load of the games, teams that play Europa League or Champions League, now come the World Cup of the clubs, all that stuff, and come. If you see that you are going to play in the last week of Premier League, you are going to have some clubs that they are going to play the games that they were postponed. It's not a normal situation as well, and of course you have to see that the people are trying to find a way to don't have, for example, City play against Tottenham in the middle of the last week of the Premier League. And of course I can look for both sides, because I'm here not just to look for myself, and I understand. I don't know if it was the reason, to be honest, why they did it with the possible replays in the FA Cup, but I understand, of course, the culture of everything, the culture of the competition, and it's something that you cannot be not looking for it, because it's always important in a country like England. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Marco.
Hi.
Do you feel your squad are in the best place possible to attack these final games of the season? You mentioned wanting to push up into the top half of the table if you can, but no injuries. Has there been a good move this week on the back of the West Ham results?
Yes, but it's not just because we won the game against West Ham. I have been talking to you here probably last month and a half, 2 months, that I think we are in the best moment of the season. Of course, one of the situations that make me to think about it is, of course, the way I see the team, the players, they train every single day. As you said, you don't have big injuries, you don't have last month and a half, 2 months, almost all the squad is available. Of course, create a competition inside our squad that helps always myself and the players to reach different level, and good headaches for me to decide, and is always the better situation to plan a game and to prepare for the players for the next game. But I will repeat what I said 2 months, 1 month and a half for last month as well, that yes, we are in the best moment of the season.
This is the 4th time that you're going to face Liverpool this season. Do you sense your players are desperate to finally get this over the line and get a win against them? Because the games have always been close and entertaining.
Yes, it's true, and it's been very, very good games. Probably some of them too open for a manager to enjoy, but yes, at Anfield, at Cottage as well, they have been really, in some moments, emotional games as well. Other moments entertaining, like as you said, tight games always. Of course, in some of them. The dramatic ends of the match, I think Anfield will play a big part on it as well. The games they become more emotional, but even last season it was really tough for them to come to play at Craven Cottage. Carabao Cup this season too, and of course we want to make the life really difficult for them. We want to give really a match to them, and of course let's hope if we can get a different result than the last games that we played against them.
Marco, thank you.
Marco, we've seen that Liverpool can be beaten. It's rare, but it's happened recently, so that must fill you with some confidence.
We don't need the other results to get confidence, to be honest. We don't need. I think everything what we've been doing last season and this season against Liverpool show that. Of course, we haven't won, but in some games we are really close to do it. The details played always a big part on it. When we played twice at Anfield, that we were able to be leading score until the last minutes of the both games this season. Last season at home we were leading twice the game as well, and they drew it in the last moments of the game. Show that we are capable to do it. Of course, we have to change some things. We have to pay a lot of attention for the details. The emotional balance is going to be crucial again. We don't need the other teams to win against them to believe more.
You're going to be playing Liverpool and Manchester City in the 5 games you've got left before the end of the season, so you'll have some influence on the title race. It's important that your performance levels don't drop, isn't it?
But it's not because, sorry to tell you, but it's not because we are going to play against Liverpool or against City. We don't care about the title race. We care about ourselves, and if the points are there for us to fight It's going to be a Liverpool and City because they are in the schedule. For us, it's going to be the same against Crystal Palace. Believe me, our preparation, our ambition is going to be the same. This game or the game after that is going to be against Palace, or the last game that is going to be against Luton. Some people can think in this way. Of course, the motivation is City or Liverpool. It's normal. Okay, the environment is going to be slightly different. We understand that. Some clubs, they demand more from you than the others. In some, we don't need really to push the players to be more focused, because the opposition that we have the other side of the pitch demands from you straight away that situation. But about ourselves, the way you demand, the way you prepare, nothing will change. And to be honest, is a fight that is not our fight. Our fight is about 3 points.
Jurgen Klopp is going to be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. He says he's got fatigue. Do you understand that? Do you understand maybe kind of running out of energy to be a footballer?
Okay, if Jurgen said, of course, we have to accept and to understand, of course, and I know what his job demands from ourselves. He's already 8-9 years in that football club, and we understand. What I'm 100% sure, and of course we have to understand when a character and personality that is always so honest when he's speaking to you, and in all the moments that he speaks, of course. We have to understand and to believe that is clear the reality. What I can say, of course, is being always a pleasure and really entertaining to be with him in the touchline, to prepare challenge against him as well. It's been a long time already, and I'm sure that Premier League is going to miss him. Prem is a great man and a great character and personality as well. And I really believe that I'm sure that Premier League is going to miss him.
So he's somebody you admire. Is he somebody you've managed to speak to?
No, of course. Every time we play against each other, of course, we have our moments as well, and of course, it's always good, a pleasure to share the touchline with him. Yeah.
Andreas Pereira scored a couple of goals the other day. He's being linked with other clubs. I mean, is it inevitable that a club like Fulham, whenever there's a player performing well, there will be links to other clubs, there will be the suggestions that other teams might want to buy them?
I think it's normal if our players they are linked with the other clubs. For me, it's something that you cannot control, and if you cannot control, it's something that I don't pay a lot of attention for it. I like my players to perform well. I like to develop them, and it's clear what we have been doing with them as well, and the way they have been developing themselves, and individual and collective as well, and that is what we can control. And after, if they perform well, and if the other clubs they have some interest or not on them, we cannot control. After these other things will come, decisions to make from our football club. My focus is in our players, and what we can control is their performance.